This is Perspective Log X,
Be dangerous.
and I am your host, E.A. Crespo. This is Perspective Log X, and I am your host, E.A. Crespo. Perspective Log X, Lakers-fandom.
Okay, technical problems there. Welcome to the show. I have an unpopular opinion about trading for DeMar DeRozan, and I will explain it right here. I would explain why I don't think the Lakers are actually going to trade Kuzma and Danny Green, and if they do, probably it's going to be for somebody like Oladipo, who cost less than DeMar DeRozan, who cost less than Chris Paul. And remember that the Lakers are trying to land one of the free agents for the next year. And one of the things about that is that they're going to need all the cap space they can get. But right now, they have a priority. And that priority is to get a team ready for signing when things get together as planned. Remember that Dark Dudley have done a few interviews about this, and he was saying that part of a plan of the Lakers is that players are going to opt out of the contract, and then they are going to sign back. Also, Danny Green has talked about it. That and they have, they have accepted the idea that some are going to be lost in that strategy. But obviously, there is a plan. And I think part of the plan is to keep the team together. One of the things and the secret for the Lakers' success is the team chemistry. And everybody noticed that last year. But also, I want to talk about why we have to have the right expectations about trades, about all kinds of things. And one of the things is, in the case of DeMar DeRozan, he's too expensive. You would need at least 4 players to get DeMar DeRozan. Second, DeMar DeRozan, he's a great offensive player, and he can play a really good defense. But the problem is that the Lakers need floor spacing. And if you are going to take Danny Green out, and I know he had a horrible year shooting threes, that's not going to be, it's like when he was over 40%, that's not realistically sustainable. Some people do, but most people, even some of the better free throw shooters, don't do it for they won't do it for their whole career. And people have bad years. And I don't think Danny Green is going to be one of those. He's already practicing his three-point shooting. And another guy that is practicing is Kyle Kuzma. Now, I want people to understand that we need to be fair when we talk about Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma is a young player was part of a team that he was well connected with, and that's why he was in the last year with that version of the Lakers. He was almost scoring 19 points per game. Now, I think people have short memory because Kuzma gets injured at the end of the season. Then he gets injured again in the summer by practicing with the Team USA. And then they go back and he gets injured again during the season. Then when he comes back and he starts to get the rhythm, then the season halts. So we are measuring Kuzma for not being successful at a season where he had to be out twice for injury, and once he is completely healthy and he starts racking up the stats, the season ends. And then comes 3 months later, the bubble. He didn't have time to get with the program like the other Lakers did. He starts getting in, he gets injured, then he comes back, and then the season is over. So I don't, realistically, I can't even think how people think that Kuzma is going to be like that next season. If he doesn't get hurt, he's already like, and we saw it in the finals, in the playoffs. He's already gearing up with what the Frank Vogel system is. And so it's not easy to have a new coach, basically a new team, and then coming from injury, and then coming back from another injury, and then your season ends for 3 months or 4 months, and then starts again in a completely different environment. You know, it's a lot to ask. And it's a lot to ask to a player that we are not even paying him that much. And that's the problem with Kuzma also. People need to understand that Kuzma is being asked to be the third star in a team that pays him like if he was the worst player. So we need to understand that we cannot judge Kuzma for that season. It's ridiculous to judge him for that season. The other thing is, if you are going to exchange 4 players for a player, you want to have the best choice. That doesn't mean DeMar DeRozan is a bad player. He is by no means he's a bad player. He's a star. You know, he's a star in with all rights. But not all the stars fit together. And I don't think DeMar DeRozan's fit for what the Lakers are looking for. And so that is my argument against that trade. That trade is not going to happen only with Kuzma and Danny Green because the math doesn't work. And because there are other options that are more suitable for the Lakers. You're going to have a guy that makes more of his points in the paint. And you are trying to get to space the floor so Anthony Davis can work, go to work. And they can make it work. It's not that they cannot make it work. Anthony Davis is capable of shooting from outside. Also, LeBron James, but that's not their normal game. And that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to get pieces around LeBron and um, AD that can complement in a way that makes their job easier. It's not going to be easier also for DeMar DeRozan because everybody know that they are going to clog the paint. Um, uh, they are going to play a little bit of zone defense, so the Lakers have a hard time getting into the paint, and pretty much it's going to be a one-dimensional team in that sense. Now DeMar DeRozan brings a lot more stuff than that, but he's not the most suited star for the job, and his price is too high. So a trade for him wouldn't be the best choice for the Lakers right now. I mean, if there is no other choice, I will welcome him with open hands. But I don't think it's the best. Maybe there's something in the Lakers plans that I'm missing. Maybe. And there's something probably that they are looking for in case they get enough space. Everybody opts out. Three guys won't come back in. I would understand that in certain way, but still, we don't have that many contracts to trade. So everybody would have to be out except probably Caruso and Taylor Horton Tucker. Everybody else would have to go on that trade. And you will lose that core chemistry that the Lakers had. They will have to develop again. And LeBron James is a master on that. And also DeMar DeRozan, he's a pro. You know, he knows, and hopefully his ego doesn't, but I don't see him as an ego guy. I might be wrong. You can correct me on any of that, of the stuff that I'm saying. I welcome the correction. But I really don't think that's the best way to go. That's why I on Twitter I've been saying it. I'm not with that contract. I think he's an excellent player. I just think he's not the best fit. Something I wanted to mention that's probably an outside note. I just read that the Lakers were Rob Pelinka and I don't know if it was Fran Bogle or one of the assistant coaches. They were looking at this kid, Nico Manu. I don't know if I'm butchering the name. So I guess they are looking for. They have been interested in a lot of guards, like Tyler Terry, Cassius Winston, which I'm high on that guy because I like Spartan players, and also because he's the type of guy who can read defenses well. He's a very good floor general. He has shortcomings. He's not, athletic enough, and sometimes he gets in too deep and then doesn't know how to finish the play. But he's mature enough to run an offense if he needs to. That's my take on Cassius Winston. Nico is as good, but I don't know if his youth would get in between some, some decision making on the floor. I haven't seen it. I really haven't seen it, but I think he could be a project, but I'm not sure if the Lakers are gonna go with him or they are looking at him as if they don't get some other guys. Because I know they have been asking questions. I think they interviewed Tyler Terry. I might be wrong. Also, Trey Jones, and so they are like paying a lot of attention to guards. They actually interviewed Desmond Bain, but I don't think they are gonna. He's gonna go before the 28th pick. So that's my take on that. I mean, I might be wrong about this, but I think the defense is going to collapse more in order to take away the points in the paint for the Lakers if we get DeMar DeRozan. Now, everybody have to remember, he's got a mid-range shot. And even though that's not unclogging the paint, if they don't pay attention to him, he's going to score. He's a scorer. And so it's not because he's a bad player. I want to be clear about that. It's not that DeMar DeRozan by no means he's a bad player. He's an excellent player, and he's one of the stars in the NBA. But like I said, there's stars that fit, there's stars that doesn't. And I don't think he fits that well with the Lakers or what the Lakers are trying to pursue. Now, if they get a sharpshooter point guard or a sharpshooting, I think they probably are going to go for a point guard. Then I would see probably the problem is the money. I still would have problems because of the money. DeMar DeRozan, he's expensive, and a trade for him is going to demand a lot of people, and maybe even the pick. So it's hard. It's hard for me to see the Lakers picking DeMar DeRozan for the team. In that case, Derrick Rose would be more in their average, and they can offer less for their Rose. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll talk about it on the next podcast. I don't want to take it too long because I don't want to be an hour-long podcast unless I have a guest. And so I'm gonna close it down with this. Take care of each other. Take care of yourself. May God bless, and go Lakers. Bye-bye.